When you live alone long enough, the silence starts to change its shape. I've been a welder for over 40 years. My hands don't stop shaking anymore, but I still work when I can, in my shop, behind the house that's far too big for one man. It's just me and my dog now, Chester, a shepherd mix with more loyalty than sense. My wife, Debbie, died 5 years ago, cancer. My kids moved away soon after, and the farm, it just sort of swallowed me. I kept everything the same. Her clothes, her pictures, even her coffee cup on the kitchen counter. I couldn't bring myself to touch any of it.
That night started like any other. I finished welding a gate until around 9, then decided to take Chester for a walk around the property. It was cold, that kind of prairie winter that hums quietly through the trees. You can almost hear your heartbeat out here. We did our usual loop, half a kilometer past the workshop, along the fence line and back toward the house. I've walked that path hundreds of times. But as we came around the bend, I looked up and saw light in the second floor window.
Debbie's window, our old bedroom. At first I thought I was imagining it, the faint outline of movement behind the curtain. My stomach turned to ice. That room hadn't been touched in years. No one had been in there, not since the day she died. I stood there for a good 10 seconds, Chester whining quietly beside me, watching that faint shadow move across the glass. Someone was inside.
I didn't think. I just ran. Through the back door, up the stairs, every step hammering through the quiet house. When I pushed open the bedroom door, nothing. Everything was exactly as I'd left it. Dust, closed closet, the old cedar chest by the window. No footprints, no sign of anyone. Still, the air felt wrong, the kind of wrong you can feel in your teeth. I stayed up late that night, rifle leaning against the wall beside my bed, telling myself it was just my imagination. Old house, old brain. Grief can do strange things to a man.
The next night, Chester woke me, growling. Not barking, growling, low and deep, the way dogs do when they know. I sat up and listened. The house was silent until it wasn't. Creak. One slow step, then another, coming from directly above me.
The bedroom. I grabbed my flashlight, told myself I was being ridiculous, and climbed the stairs. The door was closed this time. I opened it slowly. The beam of light cutting across the old wallpaper, the empty bed, the still air. Nothing. I laughed out loud. That's how I knew I was getting scared, trying to convince myself I wasn't. But I couldn't shake the feeling that the air in that room was colder than the rest of the house, and that something had been standing where I was standing.
On the third night, I found the kitchen lights on when I came downstairs for water. I never leave lights on. I'm obsessive about it. That's when I called the police. 2 officers showed up, searched the whole house, even the crawl space. They were kind about it, but I could tell what they were thinking. That I was old, lonely, seeing things that weren't there. They told me to call if anything else happened, then drove off into the dark. I sat there, staring at that second floor window again, half expecting to see someone looking back.
The fourth night was the one I can't forget. I went upstairs again, thinking maybe if I faced it, it would stop haunting me. But when I opened the door, the room was different. Debbie's clothes, the ones I had folded into boxes after the funeral, were scattered across the floor. Her dresses, her scarves, even her slippers by the bed. I remember whispering her name. Debbie? And that's when I saw her. A woman,
standing in the doorway. Not moving, not speaking, just watching. I couldn't see her face clearly, but she was shorter than Debbie, younger maybe, her hair hanging in front of her eyes. I took a step forward, and she turned and ran. I chased her down the stairs, through the kitchen, out the front door, Chester barking wildly at my heels. But when I burst outside, the yard was empty. No footprints in the snow, nothing. After that night, I stopped sleeping. Every sound in the house made my pulse spike. The pipes, the wind, the floorboards. I started keeping the rifle by my bed again. Then, one night, in late February, I saw her, standing outside in the snow about 30 yards from the porch, just standing there. The moonlight hit her face, and I could see her clearly this time. It wasn't Debbie. It wasn't anyone I knew, but she was wearing Debbie's dress. I stepped outside with the rifle, Chester growling behind me.
"Get off my property," I shouted. She didn't move, didn't even flinch, just watched me, head tilted slightly, like she was studying me. I fired a warning shot into the air. She turned and walked into the tree line, slowly, like she knew she had all the time in the world.
That was months ago. I haven't seen her since, but I still leave the porch light on every night. Sometimes when the snow blows hard against the window, I'll see a shape in the reflection. Not quite human, not quite gone. Chester still growls at the ceiling sometimes, right above my bed, the same place those footsteps came from. And some nights, when I'm welding in the shop, I'll look up and see her silhouette in that window again, still wearing Debbie's clothes, still watching. Some ghosts don't haunt the house. They haunt the people who stayed.